Hey guys, this video is for our kindergarten and first grade leaders for November week 1. So we have a brand new theme this month, and the theme is jam session, and it's kind of all about how members of a band have to work together to make the band successful. And that's because our life app for the month is cooperation, working together to do more than you can do alone. And our memory verse for this month is Ecclesiastes 4:9. Two people are better than one. They can help each other in everything they do. And our Bible story for this week is about coming together to build the tabernacle, and our bottom line is God wants us to work together. So this story is a little bit more obscure in the Bible, and basically God instructs Moses to build a tabernacle where his presence will dwell in the Ark of the Covenant. And so Moses has to go around and find all of these people that are talented to do different parts, to make fabric, to build things. Maybe some people that are financially gifted and they give money, and they all work together to make the tabernacle come together and be built. And what I think is so cool about this story is it really reminds me of what Oak Bridge is doing right now with Oak Bridge City. People all work together to give money. People are down there painting. People are down there laying flooring. People are down there doing sound, doing technical work, getting ready to lead, just so many different things. And so really, Oak Bridge is very much a picture of cooperation right now, just like this story. So that's why I think it's cool that we're featuring this story. So make sure that when you serve this week, you're here at 8:30 and 10:30 just to get together and pray. And then also just pray that kids would be able to put aside their differences and their own desires to learn to cooperate with their peers. Then when kids start to come in at 8:40 and 10:40, you're going to need some plastic cups that you will have on your cart. And you're just going to welcome kids as they come to your circle. Make sure you know everybody's name. Ask about their week. Maybe ask about how Halloween was, what their joke was, what they dress up as, how much candy they get. Make sure any first-time guests feel very welcomed. And then what you're going to do is you're going to invite kids to work together to make a tower or another structure with the cups. And you're just going to praise them for their creativity, for their problem solving. Especially make sure that you praise them when they're cooperating. And maybe for your older kids, your first graders, ask some questions to get their critical thinking going. So like, is there a way that you guys could make your tower higher? And what would happen if your base was a different shape, like a circle or a square? Is there a way that you could make your tower sturdier? Just to kind of get them thinking about working together. Then when service starts at 9 and 11, you're going to do an activity called Mingle, Mingle, Moo. And you're going to have some hula hoops in your space. And you're going to just kind of spread them out so that kids have room to kind of move in between them. And then someone in your class will just play music from their phone. You can go on YouTube and play music, or iTunes if you have that. And kids will walk around their environment and greet each other, and they're going to say mingle, 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 okay? Mingle, 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 mingle. You might want to tell them what mingle means because they might not know. And then when you call out a number, kids are going to get into a group of that number, step inside the hula hoop, and then wait. So just be sure to join the game if you need to as leaders. So here's some suggestions, or you could just make up your own. So you could say groups of 2, and then they get together in a group of 2. And you might say cows that moo. So then they would get together in their group of 2, get inside the hula hoop, and then they would start mooing. Or they would say penguins at the zoo, or monkeys saying ooh, ooh, ooh. So once they get with their group of 2, then they would do whatever action. So then it gives you different ideas for all different numbers. And then you'll say mingle, mingle, mingle. And then they'll start walking around again, saying mingle, mingle, mingle until you give them the next command. And then you're just going to keep going as you go. Just as long as basically until you have to a large group. So, and then throughout the game, just be quick to praise any kids that show cooperation. And then you'll close it down by saying, you guys did a great job working together in your groups. In large group today, we're going to hear about some people who worked together so that they could do what God wanted them to do. So then you'll just head across the hall to large group. It will be a video for the story this week. When you get back for your review activity, you're going to need these little peanut butter and jelly cards. So there's peanut butter on some, bread on some, and jelly on some. And what you're going to do is before the kids join you, you're going to gather 2 bread cards and 1 peanut butter and jelly card for each kid. So if you have 8 kids in your group, make sure you get 16 pieces of bread, 1 piece of peanut butter, 1 piece of jelly. And then you're going to get your kids into groups of 3 or 4, so maybe just split your group in half or in thirds. And then you're going to give each group 4 cards per child. So here's the deal, though. You don't want to give each kid two breads, a peanut butter, and a jelly. You want to mix them up. So some kids might have 3 breads and a peanut butter. Some kids might have 2 peanut butters, a jelly, and a bread. And then you're going to say, okay, guys, you need to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So each one of you needs to get 2 pieces of bread, a piece of peanut butter, and a piece of jelly. And they're going to say, oh, well, I don't have that. So you're going to encourage them to problem solve. So what could you do? If you've got 3 pieces of bread and a piece of peanut butter, what do you need to do? Well, you need to trade someone one of your breads for one of their jellies. And they're just going to work together, and they're going to have to cooperate to build their sandwiches. So then you'll close that down by saying, so did you guys have everything you needed to make your peanut butter and jelly sandwich for each person? No, you didn't. Some of you had jelly and peanut butter and no bread and vice versa. So you needed to work together to make your sandwiches. And that reminds me of our bottom line today. God wants us to work together. So why do you think God wants us to work together? We can help each other. We could do more. Yeah, God wants us to work together because when we work together, we can love others and help others and point people to Jesus. So then make it personal. You could talk about what we're doing in Oak Ridge City right now, even to make it personal. Just remember, guys, God wants us to work together because when we work together, we can show others who God is in ways that we can't on our own. So then for the memory verse activity, you're going to help kids look up the new memory verse using these tips in their Bible, and then you're going to teach kids the motions for this new memory verse using this sheet. 2 people are better than 1. They can help each other in everything they do. Ecclesiastes 4:9. And then you're going to lead kids in the motions, calling out the verse phrase by phrase. So you might say 2 people, and then they have to get together with a buddy and put their arms around their shoulders. Are better, they have to give the thumbs up. They can help each other in everything they do. What does that look like? So as the kids begin to get the motions really good, just keep going faster and faster as you go through. And you could even say, okay, now you have to do these motions on your tiptoes or in slow motion, and just kind of vary it up. So then you'll close that activity down by saying, so guys, what do you think it means 2 people are better than 1? And then, yeah, God wants us to work together, not only because we can get more done, but also because when we work together, we can love others and help others and point people to Jesus in a way that we can't do on our own. So then when you're closing down in prayer, the kids will need their PBJ sandwiches that they made earlier, and then you'll have a hole puncher on your cart and some yarn on your cart. So you're going to help each kid stack their sandwich together, and then you'll punch a hole in the top and put the ribbon through it. And then you're going to ask your kids, as you work, you're just going to kind of use this conversation below to just review the lesson of this week. And then encourage kids to take home their PBJs to remind them to work together. So you'll just close it down by saying, so guys, together and with God's help, the Israelites did something that seemed impossible, and they made this beautiful home for God to live in with his people. So things work better when we work together, don't they? Just think about the tabernacle and how God used so many different people with so many different abilities to make something amazing happen. And that couldn't have happened if everyone tried to do it on their own. That's because when you work with others, there's so much more you can do. And then you'll just close down with a prayer. As adults come, have kids, give them their PBJ sandwiches. You'll also have a bag with kids' parent cues in them for this month and a little all-access pass. I'll talk about that during large groups, all the kids. That's just kind of their take-home for this month. And that's it. So thank you guys for serving. Thank you for being the most amazing small group leaders. I'm so grateful for every single one of you. Thank you for serving week in and week out, and we'll see you on Sunday.